Tell us what happened with this contractor situation.
Oh my God.
Unless you don't want to talk about it, because we speak briefly about it on text, but like we didn't really. I mean, can you talk about it or no?
You want to play the video? No, the video got music in it. You can't play that. I was about to say play the.
Well, you sent me the clip though, no?
Yeah, I don't, because I was kind of like about to get at him, so I don't want that energy in the universe. That's why I put a song over it.
When you run up on the contractor trying to steal your materials.
I think it's so much funnier without the song though. Yo, I just see you talking. So where you going with that? The job is done, right? Like, where you going with Yo, how long you had the camera up for, man? You just put it up real quick and you was like, I'm gonna get him.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you the whole story. So I pull up to the spot, right? I pull up to Garland Gardens. So if you don't know, I'm building the house right now. And it's been a process. It's been a lot going on with Garland Gardens. It's a process. And I'm my own general contractor. So I didn't hire a builder. I became the builder myself because I wanted to save money.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we're having this conversation because this is going to be a whole separate clip too, right? So reason why I did that is because, number one, I want to get into building homes. That's the next direction and step that I want to go for in my real estate journey.
Homes.
Building homes, buildings, whatever it is. I want to build shit.
Okay.
Right? So, and this is something that I've always wanted to do, but I was a little bit intimidated by it. So I've done rehabs galore, but building something is something that I've never done, and I really wanted to do that. So I said, why not practice on my own crib? Especially after I started getting all these quotes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I'm not going to sit here and pay these fools all this money, because when you start really breaking it down, a GC is going to make a 20 to 40% margin.
Yeah.
On the full scope of your work. Rightfully so in some cases, because they've taken all the time and headache, and they got the systems,
right.
They got the subcontractors. Like, it's a lot to do this. But I'm the type of person that I like hands-on experience. And I'm fortunate enough to have built many relationships with home builders over my years of being in real estate, that I have people that I can call and ask questions, but also I'm on YouTube University.
Right.
All the time, watching like plumber shit, like right now I'm looking at plumbers and electricians. It's all on YouTube. And I just learn the lingo.
Yeah.
So we framed the house. The house is framed. And part of my arrangement with my framers, my framer, shout out to them, they're actually really good. They did the excavation, they did the new foundation, they framed up the house, they're doing the roof, etc. Right?
Right.
So part of my arrangement with them is, look, I'm looking to save money. So I want to be able to buy the materials. He was like, I'm cool with that. He said, I'll give you the order, right, of what materials you need.
Right.
And, your takeoffs. And you can shop it to whoever you want. But I'll tell you, here's the people that I use, and you can, send them the information and shop. So that's what I do. I'll go to the people that they recommend. So like for the lumber, they send me to their lumber guy. I got a quote. Now I take that quote that they give me, because it breaks down all the lumber the way I need. Now I could just go to other lumber companies and say, yo, here's my quote. Can you beat this? Can you beat this? And then from there, I make a determination of who I want to work with, and then I get on the phone with the people and I ask a lot of questions.
Right.
And that's how I determine who I'm going to hire. So with the lumber, I wound up going with their recommendation because they actually had really good price. And then I sent the quotes to people that I know who build, and they were telling me, nah, this is good price, but this could be cheaper here. These LVLs, they should be more expensive, but these are good price on these LVLs, but I see where they're making it up at, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm learning this game. With the roof, was the same thing. They gave me a list of everything I needed for the roof, for all the materials, and said, yo, I'm gonna send it to my roofing people. You can go to wherever you want to go. So I went to Home Depot.
Yeah.
I opened up a Home Depot Pro account, which is an amazing account. I love
Why?
it.
Wait. Why Home Depot and not Lowe's? Does it make a difference?
They both offer like pro accounts,
Yeah.
where you can get discounts.
It's like 10%.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get like, and the more you spend, the more discounts that you get
Right.
on your thing. So I didn't go to Lowe's because I'm so accustomed to going to Home Depot. So I say, you know what? For Lowe's, for materials of everything else I'm doing, I'll start comparing them two now together, along with other mom and pop shops, right?
Yeah.
But for the roof materials, they gave me a quote. The materials alone was like, their quote I think was $11,000. And with Home Depot's, with delivery and everything, it came out to like $10,000.
Okay. So you save.
So I saved the buck,
Yeah.
and then now I start to build a relationship with Home Depot. Great, right? So I get that. I go, and they're doing the roof. So the subcontractor, he hired his own roofers, right? It wasn't his immediate team. He hired his own subs to do the roof. And so that morning, I was speaking to him. He's like, yo, because I'm still was thinking about, because remember I did the one story.
Yeah.
So I was like still thinking about chopping it off and really doing a 2-story mansion. I'm still crazy. Still thinking about that shit. So I told him like, yo, I'm thinking about chopping off the roof and just fuck it, doing the mansion. And he's like, yo, Mateo.
Mateo, I forgot.
He's like, yo, Mateo, no, we're finishing the roof today.
Mateo, I'm gonna start calling MG Mateo. I forgot about
He was
that.
like, so I was like, all right, you finishing the roof today? Bet. I was like, you gonna be at the house later? He was like, yeah, I'll probably be there towards the end of the day. So I was like, all right, bet. Like, I'm gonna go out there. So I went out there towards the end of the day, and I also wanted to see like the finished product while the guys were still working.
Yeah.
So I can see if I can see anything visible that I want them to kind of tweak or whatever. So as I'm getting there, you know, my shit has the hill. So they have the van parked, and I see homeboy got a big box of the material on his shoulder, walking to the van and throwing it in the van.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what this nigga doing? I was like, why is he throwing a box in his van for? Now, mind you, I was there the day before, and I saw exactly how much material was left to finish the job. So I was like, okay, maybe it's only one box. So now I get to the van, and I see what y'all saw in the video. And I'm like, you know what? Let me pull out my phone and record this. Because at first I'm like, yo, I'm going to send it to homeboy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm recording it, and then dude is looking at me like kind of crazy, like while I'm recording. So I'm like, yo, Poppy, yo, y'all finished with the roof? Roof is done? He like, yeah, roof done. Right? I said, oh, okay. I said, so no more work. He said, no, job finished. So he's speaking perfectly fine English. Then I said, yo, so that's where you see me pointing at the thing. Like, yo, so what's up with this material? What you doing? He said, oh, no, English. I said, this nigga.
Who was he calling?
So I was like, bro, what are you doing with my material in your truck? So now I get loud. So he pulls out the phone. I guess he's calling my guy. So he's starting to speak Spanish to me. Yo, papi, da-da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. He's saying something, but then I hear on the phone, because he had on a speaker, he's like, no, you got to put it in garage. He was saying it in Spanish.
Yeah, yeah.
But I knew he was saying garage. And I'm like, yeah, nigga, garage. Where you going with my material, yo? So he's like, oh. I was like, nah, you got to put this in the truck. You know what I'm saying? Because now I don't even want to keep it in the garage.
Yeah.
Because you could just come back and steal it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
The house is open.
Yeah.
So put it in the garage, go to Home Depot, and it was $1,300 and change of returns. So I'm like, what? This dude tried to take $1,300 from me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Now, one of the things with the Home Depot Pro account, because Tony was with me and she went in, she actually did the return because I was in the car
Yeah.
on a call. So she went in and did the return. and they didn't ask her for no ID, no nothing.
Yeah, they don't.
No, and they return it in cash.
Yeah, they do that too.
They don't even put it back on your. They don't even put it back on your card.
Yeah, that's. I think Lowe's does the same thing too. I feel
They
like.
give it back in cash.
Yeah, they give.
And
it
I
back.
said, what? They didn't even ask you for no ID or nothing. Like, they didn't even call me to see if you was on my account or anything. She's like, no. I'm like, this is the scammer shit that these people are probably doing. Taking materials from jobs and just go and return it, especially if they know you purchased it from Home Depot or Lowe's, because these big box retailers would just return it with no questions asked.
Yeah,
And we'll give you back cash.
that's the play. That's the play.
That's a play. So you got to think about how many people how many people this is getting done to. Now, obviously, when I posted that, you got the contractors all up in my shit. Pause.
Saying what?
All types of shit. Like, yo, if it's their job and this, that, and the third, they're supposed to. That's their materials. This, that,
It's
third.
their materials. That's crazy.
One guy was like, yo, we
That's
put
crazy.
it in the contract that it's our materials, anything left over, this, that, and the third. Because,
What?
and I understand what they were trying to say.
I get it too. Because who else is gonna use that material? You're not gonna go in the house.
Because ultimately, when the general population is doing any type of construction, you're signing a contract with whatever contractors,
Right.
and they're giving you a price that includes labor and material, right? And then from there, you're agreeing to that price. Let's just say the roof was $25,000, right? And that includes labor and material, and we get it done in a week. You agree to that. So, and in most cases, they're not breaking down what was labor, what was material. They're just saying, yo, this is that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it includes X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. Even like when you do kitchens and bathroom, they'll say, yo, this is how much it's going to cost, and maybe you have a budget of $5,000 for fixtures, so you can have pretty fixtures or whatever it is, right? That's how a lot of these contracts read. So what these folks wasn't realizing is that, no, my deal with my contractor is I buy the material and you're charging me for labor. Because now you got to think about it. That was $1,300 worth of extra material.
So basically, that was their like the safety net. You're saying, so that way if they have
they gave me an order that was too much,
right, just in case. They
just in
have enough.
case, right? So they can have enough. But if I wasn't there and paying attention to my inventory, and if I didn't show up that day, I would have never known that they
Yeah.
didn't use all the material.
But you shop the material yourself, though.
Yes, but I don't know what's being used and what's not being used because I'm not a roofer.
But what I'm saying is, since you went to get the material yourself,
Exactly,
and it
then
wasn't
it's-
thrown
it-
into the contractor saying, "Hey, it's 25,000 with materials
Correct.
included."
You're charging me for your
Right.
labor of getting the thing done.
So it's not theirs; it's yours.
It's mine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In this situation,
It's mine.
yours.
Yes.
Right.
Give it to me.
Yeah,
You don't need to take it, right? Like it's mine. Give me my shit. So, what is either one or two things these guys was going to do? Either A, return it and get the money back, or B, save it for the next roof job. And then now you already have somebody who wants a black roof, which black is like charcoal gray, right?
yeah.
You want to get a roof. You got already some materials to start that job with. So now you can go to the next person and say, I need all this other material. And now it just adds on,
Right.
especially if it's the same, because that's a traditional type of roof
Yeah.
color. So now think about it. If you do a couple roofs a week or a month, you have enough leftover material where you can probably go return all of this shit.
Yeah.
Or do your own roof in your own house now for free, basically.
yeah.
So what a lot of these contractors are doing is they're making margin on top of the material. So you got to think about it. Anybody who's doing contracting, you got to think about it. People get paid day rates. Think about it. And I'm not talking about, even if you go to Home Depot, you see the guys out there, they want to do work. They're always looking for people. You need help? I do this, I do that, right? You ask them for shits and giggles, how much you charge? They'll tell you, $25 an hour, $30 an hour.
Yeah.
right? But these people will charge you, oh, the labor's going to cost 15,000, but you only got 3 people working. So even if I'm paying, $60 an hour at 40 hours a week, and it's going to take, that's only a couple $1,000s. So where's the rest of that money? No, you're making a surplus, a margin on top of that, and then now you still got all that extra material. So think about it, that saved me $1,300.
Yeah.
That's $1,300. So actually, my roof bill wasn't $10,000; it was $8,700, which was still cheaper than the $11,000
Right.
that I was originally quoted. So I posted that video to show people, look, the con shit does happen. I don't just be sitting here talking. That's one. Two, I'm not exempt from being con just because I'm MG, the mortgage guy. No, I'm liable to get got too.
Yeah.
Number three, people's like, yo, you should call out the company so we never knew them, so we know who the scammers are. I ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah, it's too much.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the solutions to
Yeah.
try to avoid getting scammed so you understand the business, right? I'm not here to be the scam buster guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm not going to call out the company. No. I'm going to show you, here was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the solution. This is what I would do differently, right? And I wouldn't really do nothing differently. I was watching, paying attention to my inventory. I negotiated a deal where I could buy the materials myself so I can get the true pricing that I see fit. You know what I'm saying? And I use my Amex card so that way I can get points.
Yeah.
And then I also opened up a Home Depot Pro account so I can get discounts. And now that I know the return policy is so lenient, anytime I order any materials, even if I order extra, I know anything that's unused, I can always return it and get my money back and apply it to something else.
Right.
So there's really nothing I would do differently in there. It's just all a learning lesson. And that's why I put that video out there, was for it to be more of a learning lesson for people to understand, like, hey, you can control your materials.
Yeah.
Now, some contractors they don't want to do that because they want to control everything. And I understand from their standpoint too, like, to play devil's advocate, it's much easier for them to just manage everything on their own.
Yeah.
Do what they have to do. Because not all contractors are looking to con you.
Right.
There's actually really good contractors out there that just want to make sure that things are done right. And they have their own systems and shit like that. And I understand that. But for me, it was more about, look, I'm learning. And I'm being clear. Like, look, I can just give you all reins and control over my project and not learn nothing. Or I can be involved. I can be at this house every day that I'm in New York. I could be here when y'all working. I could be asking questions. I'm going to be involved. I'm not, don't look at me as a homeowner. Look at me as a GC.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you questions because I'm trying to learn, and I want you to teach me. And anybody that I bring onto my jobs, that's part of, like, even all my plumbers and electricians and everybody, my HVAC guys I'm interviewing right now, that's one of my requirements. You must teach me your trade. And if I can't have conversation with you and I can't learn from you, I won't hire you. I don't care about your price. Because if you can't teach me what you're doing, then that means I can't duplicate it in the next house I do.
Yeah.
And I'm not knowing what to look for,
Right.
the pitfalls. Like, even with the plumber that I'm potentially going to hire, he's teaching me about water pipes and like 3/4 inch pipes versus 1 inch pipes and the difference of how it will flow through the house and all this other shit. I'm like, oh shit, this is mind blowing. I love this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But like the plumber stuff, I'm not going to take the chance at ordering plumber material.
That's a whole different.
That's a
ballgame.
whole different ball game. I don't really want to go. And the Home Depot Pro, they're good. You can give them a list and they'll go fetch everything for you. But I don't need to. I'm not going to try to get too deep into this pause. But like things like when I do, whether it's tile, appliances, obviously, marble, things like that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sheetrock. I'm ordering all of that shit because I want to know how much this is really cost, because these people would try to get over you, especially you doing kitchens, like heavy things, like kitchen. Like I knew the roof. It was like, because I got quotes from roofers, $30,000, $35,000. Even when the builders, I'm looking at that I was going to hire, and they telling me what they was going to charge for roofs because they break everything down for me. I'm like, 35,000. I know it's a big house, but damn, I ain't paying 35,000, 30,000 for a roof. Now with this, with labor, I'm paying less than $20,000 for my roof.
Yeah.
The same roof I was about to pay $30,000+ for if I would have hired a builder to do this. That just showed me, yo, I did the right thing. Like, yeah, I could have lost $1,300, but I still would have been up because I managed to do everything on my own. So my message to everybody out here is make sure if you're doing a rehab, try to be involved as possible. Now, obviously, this is much harder to do if you're doing out-of-state rehabs and stuff like that, especially if you're not going to be in a state while it's happening. But that's why I love the Home Depot Pro accounts and stuff like that is, look, even if you're out of state, I can say, yo, give me your list for your materials. If I'm doing roof or anything I can get from Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that, and I can shop it with them in that city, in that state, and then I can just go tell my contractor, look, go buy the material from Home Depot. My card is already on file. I like that price. Give me a quote from your guy. Let me see what they quote it. I'll send it to Home Depot. Let me see if I can get better. And if I like it better here, then you know what? I'm going with Home Depot. Go buy the material from them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then Home Depot Pro, they'll call you or text you before they complete the order. Like, and your card and everything is on file. And they call you, you approve this? Yes, I do. Okay, bet. Boom. And deliver it to the project. And you can do that anywhere out of state. But again, you have to just understand and know that you can do this stuff.
Yeah.
Most people, when I posted that home, and the next day I posted the Home Depot Pro video. I actually took that 3 weeks ago, when I first signed up and shit like that. And I had the lady explain the benefits. It's actually like a 2.5 minute video, but you know, Reels only do 90 seconds.
Yeah.
So it was a lot more information. I might do a part 2 to that video, but there's things out there to try to safeguard us from being conned, right? And one of the things is, look, when you out here shopping, ask them, if you're doing a new bathroom for me and I got all these things going on, what is labor costs? What are materials? And if they don't want to give you the difference in a breakdown because they don't want to see how much they're charging for labor, then you have to ask yourself, is this someone I really want to work with? For me, it's all about transparency.
Yeah.
If you do a good job and you are like, I like your work, I'm going to pay you. We had this conversation again today, right? If you doing what I think you need to be doing, I'm going to pay you what I think you're worth to me. But if I feel like you're not, then like, yo, why you charging me all this? So if the job is going to cost me 20 and you're saying 12 of it is labor, then the material is 8. Like, what the fuck? That's like, how long is this going to take you to do? How many men are going to be working? Now I got to start questioning, like, how much does this really cost labor-wise, too? But I'm not going to try to shake you down too much because, again, I want my job done.
Right.
So I'm not going to try to penny pinch everything, but I think for me, where I'm saving a lot of money right now is labor. And also I cut out the middleman, which is the general contractor. Now, obviously I could be much further ahead in my house right now if I had a GC, but I don't care because I'm learning and I know I'm going to be able to repeat this process the second time I do it much faster, much more efficient because now I'm understanding, like, you see me, I be having my measuring tape, like I'm understanding like shit, like I'm now turning myself into a GC.
Yeah.
And it works on me. It's on my Instagram. So go to my Instagram page, MG the Mortgage Guy. Go to my Reels and you'll be able to see it. So that's the contracting story of Garland Gardens. I saved myself an extra $1,300 by keeping a track on my material list and seeing what was there.